Lake, Seminole, Orange, and Osceola counties have announced all vehicles are to be off the roads no later than 2 p.m. today, Wednesday, September 28th. In addition, public safety outlets, police, fire, and EMS will discontinue travel after this time until conditions are deemed to be safe for travel. Please take this into consideration during the next couple hours of travel.
In the eye of a hurricane there is quiet for just a moment. A yellow sky. When I was 17, a hurricane destroyed my town. I didn't drown, I couldn't seem to die. I wrote my way out, wrote everything down far as I could see. I wrote my way out. I looked up and the town had its eyes on me. They passed a plate around, and total strangers moved to kindness by my story. Raised enough for me to book passage on a ship that was New York bound. I wrote my way out of hell, I wrote my way to revolution. I was louder than the crack in the bell. I wrote Eliza love letters until she fell. I wrote about the Constitution and defended it well. And in the face of ignorance and resistance, I wrote financial systems into existence. And when my prayers to God were met with indifference, I picked up a pen, I wrote my own deliverance. In the eye of a hurricane there is quiet for just a moment. A yellow sky. I was 12.
Hey cousins, it's a Monday, except it's not, it's actually a Wednesday. It is Wednesday, September 28th. First of all, update, I am living in Florida now. And second update, there is a hurricane. So right now, a couple hours away on the western coast of Florida, Hurricane Ian is making landfall. And he is scheduled to be here in about a day. So I'm here in my apartment. The power has just gone out. And I just messaged you guys on the cousin chat saying that I'm peacing out for a little while we wait for this power situation, saving power on my phone. We're just gonna start recording in the meantime. So what better time for a tour of my apartment? But this is the view I have out in the pond. The pond is like literally 15 feet, 20 feet from our apartment. And it's not much of a slope down, so worried about flooding. Also, my wind gauge is this palm tree that sits right outside my window. Let's move into the rest of the apartment. Okay, we have found the flashlight. We are back in business. So now, let's take a look at our hurricane-proof apartment. Welcome to the restroom, where our main feature is bathtub full of water, just in case we need it to wash things, flush the toilet. Let's take a look down here as we work our way into the kitchen. We have all the water. Pot full of water, jug full of water, water bottle full of water. I was in the middle of warming up dinner roast. So I think it fully defrosted, might have cooked enough. We can eat that later. Another pot of water, water bottles of water. Moving into the dining room, we have a bag of rice, which was sitting on the floor. Also have a blanket and sleeping bag, just in case, I don't know, we have to run out of here for any particular reason. Here's Olga, my plant. She's doing really well, really loving the water. A little bit too much Olga, isn't that right, Olga? Living room. Lifted everything off of the ground that we could. There was a rug down here. It's now over there. The lamp was sitting over there in the corner. Now I've unplugged it and put it up on this pedestal. Moved everything from the bottom shelves up onto the upper shelves. our printing desk here. Moved all the router and stuff up here. I'm gonna unplug it in a second just to make sure all of the wires are above anywhere. And then here's our patio. It has a risk for flooding, obviously. So hopefully this area doesn't flood and come in through the sliding door, you know. Okay, so food-wise, just made a batch of granola last night, so we have all this granola ready to go. We have other cereals. We have a can full of Big Franks if I want to eat them raw, if we get to that point. Maple syrup if I want to drink it. That's the main portion of our tour here. Welcome to my apartment. No power, but all the hospitality you could ever want. I'll be back in a sec. 2 minutes after recording that, we are back in business. Power is back on. Welcome to my apartment. Oh, what's up, Google? I think we're gonna be playing this game with power on and off for the next couple days, but power's back on. I'm gonna get back to charging everything that I own. See you later. And just like Mushu in the movie Mulan, 4:40 p.m. Wednesday. Okay, so just for future reference, I'm gonna be using these stacked up white chairs to show how high our pond is getting. But let's take a look here. So we got this cell passing over us right now. Orlando, basically that size. But if we zoom out here, we're just gonna take a look. There's the hurricane. Probably a good 10 times the size of Orlando, or about the size of your mother. Approaching, but hopefully we're about to pass through this, I guess, smaller cell, if you can call it a smaller cell. It's kind of sweeping up and around that way. It's kind of rotating counterclockwise. And I guess while we're here, let's take a look at the rest of the cousins. So let's zoom in here. There's Florida. There we are. Let's check up on Indiana. What you got? Literally nothing. Literally nothing. Indiana, Fort Wayne, nothing. Dayton, Ohio, nothing. Let's check in on San Fran. Nothing. SoCal, whole lot of... Oh, what? SoCal has rain? Oh, it's up in the mountains. That doesn't count. So just saying, you guys are missing out. You're missing out. We got all the water. All the water. You thirsty? Come to Florida. Okay, it's 7:15. We haven't lost power since we first lost power earlier this afternoon. Hasn't been raining terribly this afternoon, just on and off. Now it's starting to come down more sheety. Level check on the chairs over there. They're still above water. So we're still doing okay. Our palm tree wind gauge is still holding up pretty well. Every once in a while there's a little gust here or there. About to head into the night. We'll see if we'll keep power going through this evening. It is now 7:44 in the evening. It is dark outside. Rain is still coming down out there. It's not terrible. Every once in a while you see a good gust come through, but it's not bad. They are saying that it is supposed to get a lot stronger going into the night. Maybe by 9 or 10 p.m. we're starting to see hurricane force winds. But for now, Freddy the Fountain still going strong, blowing a little bit, but not bad. You got my book. We got some hot apple cider. Hot. And we'll keep updating you as things go on. So it is still about 7:45. It has to be said, I had a lot of fun making this video, but the hurricane did make landfall earlier today around Fort Myers. It was about a Category 4, almost a Category 5 hurricane. Very strong winds, and videos are starting to come out from Fort Myers showing houses floating away and boats floating down the street. So very unnerving stuff. It's supposed to lose a lot of strength before it gets here to Orlando. Maybe it'll hit us about a Category 1, maybe a Category 2 at the worst. So we're not anticipating terrible things over on our side. But it must be said, we have some cousins over in Sarasota, Florida area along the west coast. Giselle specifically, who is working at her hospital. She's on Team A, so she's in the hospital right now and holding down the fort with Uncle Nin. The rest of their family's at home right now, but they live in a pretty safe area, so I think they're doing okay at this point. And yeah, we'll continue updating as things come along. It's now about 10 p.m. We still have power, but it is getting a little bit stronger. Sheets of rain moving across the pond, palm trees swaying, still hanging on. Frederick the fountain, still going strong in the distance. It will not focus for me. Give me a better view of Frederick. There's Frederick. Oh! Power went out. Power just came back on. Oh, I caught that on camera. That was weird. Well, in that case, power's probably about to go out then. Well, keep an eye out on things. It is 3:45 in the morning. Blowing pretty hard. It hasn't been bad overnight. Not a lot of lightning or anything. It's just been really windy. The rain has been slowly picking up as well. The pond is rising. I don't know how well you can see there. There's the sidewalk. You can still see the sidewalk. The barrier of grass between the sidewalk and the water is shrinking. But yeah, we will continue monitoring the situation because, again, plus side, we still have power. See, at this point, I think we're just playing the worst game of chicken with the other side of the pond, seeing whose apartment actually lies lower. Because once it starts overflowing on the other side, then that kind of saves the opposite side. So now it's time to see whose frickin' apartment is higher up. It is now 4:17. Haven't gone back to bed yet. Been preparing and moving things to higher ground on the kitchen table and whatnot. Report at this point is we have lost the sidewalk. It is coming down pretty hard. That being said, it seems to be moving faster than we thought, so if we move down to our tracker here, it seems that we're already moving through some of the strongest bands of rain that are closer to the center of the hurricane. The center of the hurricane, and now almost a tropical storm, is about here, and it's tracking up there through Melbourne. So if we can just get through this band here without significant flooding, we might be in the clear. But I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist. That's the optimistic side of things. We're gonna move here through the apartment, and we're gonna move out here to the deck, the patio. You can hear it. There's water piling up, and that is not good. This has happened before with relatively big storms. The patio will collect some water because there's like a little drain here, and sometimes it just needs to rise to get into the drain, and then it drains just fine. But we'll see. Now that we've lost the sidewalk out there, that sidewalk is probably about 3 feet from the deck. So, I guess updates. I've stacked things. I'm not going to turn on the light. I'm too lazy for that. But I've stacked things a little bit higher. I'm going to do a little Monty Python, put things on top of other things. We're going to hope for the best here. It is now 4:37 in the morning. Water is still advancing. It's up to there right now at the center of the frame. The patio still looks the same, so the drain is still draining water. Something I just realized, if you look back at an earlier frame of this video, this here, this thing here is not a bush. That is part of the tree that's fallen over here. So we just lost part of the tree. It's lying in the water now. And we'll see if things start letting up here pretty soon. Literally 2 seconds after I stop recording that, the power is out. Oh, there's a little flash out there. We are now without power. I've heard some of my neighbors moving up and around in the hallways, so I think they're kind of in the same boat. The water is probably getting very close to the apartments. There's not much we can do now at this point, except wait for morning. It's 4:45 a.m. The patio is still holding up just fine. Water hasn't actually gotten up to the patio yet. Main concern right now, it's raining and our friendly palm tree is not blowing that much, which means this band is stalling out over us and is gonna keep dumping rain. Things are slowing down because we are on the western side. So rain could end in the next 45 minutes, or it could be going until 10 a.m. We'll have to see. I found my ISO up as high as it can go because we got a frog hanging out on my window now. What's up, Froggo? Frogster? Kermit? Whoever you are. Sounds like the rain is going down, so fingers crossed. 5 a.m. Rain continues to seem to be going down. The patio has drained all of the water, so there's now no water on the patio. Which is probably just more so an indicator that the rain has gone down. I just need the sun to rise at this point. I don't know. I might try to get some sleep again. Or not. Good morning. It is 10 a.m. Thursday, September 29. Here's a little bit survey of the damage. We got our tree laying down in the water. Over here we have our measuring stick of our first palm tree. Fully under. Second palm tree, definitely under. Still blowing strong. Measure of the chairs in the distance. They have been carried away. Going right up to those apartments there. Oof, I'm worried about those guys. And then these apartments over here. Nice and dry. But let me show you the deck area. We're still without power. Probably not going to get that back for a while. Because we are still windy here. Look at this. Oh, the water's right there. Oh my. Oh. Woo. So there's no rain at this point, which is good. It's still windy. Still pretty windy out. Palm trees looked better. So I didn't pull out the camera last morning. I was awake around 6 a.m. just to check on things. I was too tired to do any filming. But I came out here to check, and the water was literally up to the edge here. There was no water in here. The wood chips were floating and moving. Now I have great seaside property. That is our update. I'm gonna see if I can make some breakfast this morning. So I spoke too soon. So everything in the living room is dry. But we do have water. About a good amount of water in the kitchen. All this area has a thin layer of water. Nothing important in this area, which is good. But also, I just went to check on the parking lot, check on the car. I'll put a picture up of that I took on my phone just now. It looks like the car is okay. A good portion of that parking lot has a good amount of water. That's a fence, and it has a lower beam that goes down here, and that's underwater. But yeah, I mean, counting our blessings at this point. Just have a little bit of water in the kitchen. Get to cleaning up. Thank you for watching this very long episode. I did very little editing of the actual video because I wanted to just kind of remember it as it happened. That about does it for me. See you Monday. So we got a fun little escapade here while I've been putting the house back together. It's the evening now. We got a friend. Where are you? So there's our buddy. Ooh, focus. Oh, look at you. He's like 1.5 inches long, and he's cute and adorable, and he's hiding behind the TV. I'm trying to catch him. After a very intense chase that involved climbing up the cord onto the back of the television, and then getting knocked back down onto the table, and then running underneath the Wi-Fi router, and then running back out onto the table, then me reaching this paper, then him climbing onto it, and then promptly running to the end, and then jumping off onto the floor. We have him. You are mine. I'm not going to film the release because my hands will be way too full. I'll be sticking that piece of paper underneath the container and then throwing him outside.